On the left-hand side, we have the Sofa Generals. We have, once he stops moving, Shaku 11 on the ATC, Kane 48 in the top lane on Tychus. Down the bot lane, Takamori, Art, and Ground is that on the Rhaegar.
Yeah, and as the red team, we have Aldi playing the Stitches, BQ, man, I hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly. BQ playing the Falstad, Lounger on the Tastar, Goofy is apparently prepared, and Rock and the Illidan, and we have Odamus on the Malfurion, his brother.
Yeah, and what talents are we seeing at level 1? Of course, they're now going to go for a Valor auto-attack build, the nerf of multi-shot, battle momentum I should say, has now meant
which
that...
is a pretty significant change after all.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I'm just going to turn down game sound a little bit, just so people are happy, because it was at 100%, so there we go, it's half that. And yeah, this typical tri-lane setup in the bot lane.
I like it quite a bit, because when, you know, two teams are clashing each other...
Oh, hook onto Art, stun onto Audi, and it's going to be some trading.
Won't even let me finish my sentence.
I know I'm not, just hyped from the start.
Yeah, it's just so more enjoyable to watch when you have a 3v3 lane other than 3v1, where one person is just passive and can't do much. And, you know, some Stitches shenanigans going on. Aldi is definitely showing that he's got what it takes to land those hooks. I like it.
Yeah, he's already forced Art to tap here, and of course with the poke that Falstad gives, and the sustain that Malfurion gives his allies, and we're actually going to see a switch of lanes here. It's going to be a Falstad very short flight into the mid lane, but Ground getting stunned up. Aldi as well. He's taking some aggro. Goofy going ham. He's going to get taken down, unfortunately. Oh, pardon me. Jeez, that came out from nowhere. And Ground is able to escape that. I do sincerely apologise.
Ah, no worries, mate.
Oh, wow.
I've gotten used to that. No, I'm just kidding. Huss
Wow.
is normally a really well-mannered guy. So, yeah, that hook, like this time when it really mattered, it did not hit. It was very close on Rhaegar, though. And once again, the stun from the Tyrande really hitting its targets really nice. And it's the second kill against Proland United.
But Goofy, he's going deep here, going to try and trade on Takamori, and he does so indeed. Ground is now in the wolf form. Goofy dodging out of the Lunar Flare as Falstad's now flying down into the brush, and you're going to see him flying overhead. They're a little bit cautious of this, and they're just switching these lanes up to how they feel.
Well, yeah, and you can already tell that these two teams are definitely not hesitant or hesitating when it comes to, you know, bashing each other's heads.
Speaking of bashing each other's heads, they're going at it again in this bot lane. Art's going to fall as BQ is low on mana on this Falstad and now has no health left either. Goofy having to fall back from this one. He can't 1v2 as the attention turns to the mid lane.
Yeah, they're just exchanging blows left and right. In the middle now we have a tense situation for Aldi and Adamus because they have to guard the Dragon Shrine in the middle of the map, because they definitely don't want to give them, or the enemy team, which is Sofa, of course, a free dragon, even though it's not that strong. But hey, look at that, Stitches in a little bit of a pinch.
Yep, and they're going to drop the healing ward as well from Rhaegar for good measure, but now Tassadar has joined them, as has Art, landing the two-man Lunar Flare onto Lounger and Audi. Audi is going to be drawing the attention. They don't want to go for the Tassadar, he's slippery. They are able to stun him up, didn't use his dimensional shift, as Audi is going to get the hook onto ETC to interrupt the channel of the Dragon Knight. The top lane, they're not going to be able to grab the Shrine back just yet. Ground should get this one for free, and it's a 3-minute, 11-second Dragon Knight. And for good measure, Malfurion's going to fall as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with Malfurion's decision here. I mean, of course, it's always bad if you let your enemies have a Dragon Knight, but early on in the game, it's not the end of the world, and it's definitely better to get a safe position behind the walls, behind the turrets, and, you know, keep damaging the dragon than dying. And you can see that here. Now they are one man down, and that's the main support, so
Yeah.
gonna be a little bit of a hassle here to go through. And now they've clunked 5 men in the middle. And if you pay attention to Sofa's lineups, they are still soaking top and bot lane.
And the XP lead shows that. It's 2 levels right now 1.5. But this was a point I was going to make. You were saying that about how you shouldn't panic once the enemy team gets that Dragonite or gets the 2 shrines, which Odanis kind of did. They're now panicked even more. They focused all their attention onto one lane and lost out so much XP in the side lanes.
Yeah, they're more than 1 level behind. I mean, of course, once again, it's still the early game. It's still relatively easy to catch up it would be a lot harder apparently if it were the late game. But still, you can see a little bit of nervousness here on the side of Proland. But now they caught someone in the middle lane.
Yep, it is Shaku11 who's taking some aggression here. Going to be able to escape. The poke from Malfurion and Falstad just wasn't enough to take him down, but they really need to focus on their lanes here. Maybe not so much the aggression on kills, just focus on soaking this XP and try and catch people off guard like they're doing with Takamori here. They land the hook, but now they've got some more resistance in this bot lane in the form of Siege Giants.
Yeah, and maybe we should take a look at Falstad here, because as we said, he is now getting some more love after the Sylvanas patch,
yes.
obviously. But what do you think about his build here? To me, it looks rather fancy.
Fancy or funky, I'm not sure which. Vampiric Assault, auto-attack Falstad is something which I know Tetcher, a UK caster, really enjoys playing. They've got the battle momentum in there as well. Hammering at level 1 though is something we see, I'd say, what, 85-90% of the time?
Definitely, if not more.
Yeah, exactly. As now, speaking of Falstad, he's going to fly up, but yes, Falstad got on base AD buff, but is it enough to take Vampiric Assault? I'm not too sure. Battle momentum as well. I feel Falstad has quite a few mana problems just by himself, and we can see it now. He's out of mana, so has to rely on these auto attacks.
Yeah, and I mean, one talent that is really popular amongst most Falstad players these days is still Overdrive. And if you don't rely on your skills, if you don't take that hammering, you're probably not going to take Overdrive either. So it might actually be a mighty gust here. I don't know, because you really want Overdrive with the Hinterland Blast, obviously. So let's see what Birgu is actually up to with this Falstad build. And there is an ambush setting up on the mid lane.
Yep, they're going to come in here. They do have the level 10. They're going to trade aggro onto Goofy to start things off. They're going to dodge out of the stun as well. The two assassins lucky to escape from that one. And I said they just hit level 10. We've of course got the Draken Laser Drill coming in on Tychus. Love that one. Rain of Vengeance on Valor, the Mosh Pit. That's such a good combo in itself. And of course throw a Starfall on top of that and you've got yourself some good time. Kane48, he's taking some aggro in the top lane. He's going to escape that one. Stitches meanwhile did fall in the bot lane.
Stitches totally fell for that trap that Sofa set up on the bot lane. Really nicely done. They baited them to the towers so that they were close, you know, and they could set up a nice little gank here. I like it quite a bit. Now, once again, shrines are evened up, but there is still a big issue here for Team Proland because they are still not level 10, so they should really try to... Yeah, nice. Landing
onto Birku, followed by the Mosh Pit and the Starfall. This is what I was talking about. They're now going to go on to Goofy. The Draken Laser Drill is down, and that deals so much damage to Illidan. It's so strong against Illidan. Wow. And Tychus is going to pick up that kill.
That's exactly what I was about to say. They should try to avoid team fights at all costs, because that missing heroic ability is just a huge factor. And if you don't have that ability at your disposal, you're probably going to lose a team fight, as you know it was shown on the top lane here.
Yep, as Malfurion now going to take some aggression. Birku going fully deep in there. Flying into the bush, taking some aggro, but going to be lucky to escape that one. As the Dragon Knight, second one of the game, is going to start hammering away on this fountain, then turn its attention to the fort.
Yeah, Dragon Knight is now a little bit tankier, of course, but that was a pretty good Hinterland Blast. Yep. And the Dragon Knight actually landed a really nice punt there onto the Stitches, kicked him right back into the front, in the back line, pardon me, and that was an easy kill.
Yeah, it was, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see them engage off the back of this, but it looks like there it is, the ETC going in, gone to the Falstad, going to be power sliding through, knocking him back, going to take some damage off from the Tychus Overdrive as well. The grenade isn't enough to finish him off. Healing Ward has been dropped by the Tassadar, as he's now the last line of defense along with Goofy here. As now, actually, Illidan looked like he wanted to go in there, but then decided against it. Hook is just going to miss Kane and Art there.
And I may say one thing, though. I think without the changes made to Falstad's E, you know, having a faster reaction time, I think he might have actually died there.
Yeah.
So really close one, nice escape. The Stitches hook still missed though, and it's a little bit ballsy to go for that hard mercenary camp, because they have to anticipate that the enemy team is still close around when they have the upper hand.
Yeah, and there it is. They're just going to walk in, take this one away. They're, of course, 2 levels and a talent up here are the Sofa Generals, as they're now moving towards this top lane, grabbing this top 4, and then maybe engage off the back of it, as Goofy is all by himself. That was a little bit ballsy of him to go that deep, and in fact he's just trying to go in here. If the Hinterland Blast try and force them back. Goofy going in onto Art. Gonna be stunned up by the power slide. Knockback. Rain of Vengeance is good. Hitting to Goofy. He's gonna go into the backline there. The Draken Laser doing so much to him again. Valor is going to fall down, however. Ground now is also dropping low. Adonis in the backline is going to fall. That's Malfurion down. Both supports down for each side. The Tuster taking some aggression. He's getting low. About 20% left on him. 3-man Lunar Flare is good. Wow. The grenade as well is going to split them all up. That was on point. Can they find the final kill? No, they can't, but a 3-for-2 trade. Still great nonetheless.
It was a great team fight by both teams, actually. I think the reason that caused Proland the team fight here was the fact that both Storm Rage brothers died too quickly. I mean, as like, let's just know, pardon me, Illidan and Malfurion, they are both core, parts of the team comp. If you lose your main support, if you lose your main assassin in the melee, then you're probably going to end up losing the team fight. But now on the bot lane, oh my god.
BQ, he flew in here. He needed to assist his teammate in an emergency. We actually have 4v4 down here for now. Tacita joining the teams as well. And this is actually a good move by the red side. They needed to get a shrine. In fact, the Lunar Flare is going to stop Lounger getting in there. Goofy, though, he's taking some attention. The Hinterland Blast only hitting 2. Goofy falls. And this now signals a retreat for the red team. Lounger, he's off to the side, just doing what he can. There's going to be a 3-for-0 trade, and most certainly a Dragon Knight coming out for the Sofa Generals.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see a way how Tassadar and Malfurion are supposed to hinder them from taking the Dragon Knight once again. And I still think that Proland's positioning wasn't really that bad in that team fight, but you can just see how much these 3 levels are starting to make a difference. So I think that's pretty much the whole reason why they lost the team fight here.
Tyrande has been on point with these Lunar Flares, and she was again there, picking off Malfurion, following up with the team, and they're able to drop Tacita as well in there. So that's a 2-for-0 trade with this Dragon Knight barreling down the mid lane. 5 versus 3 essentially here. This is just going to be so many structures for free.
Exactly, and if you take a look at Proland's lineup, once again, I think they can't really do much here. They can't have big damage on the Dragon Knight as it is, and they can't also let themselves caught by those Tyrande stuns over and over again. I really think that these have been devastating so far.
Yeah, and look at this. All heroics are down for the side of Proland United, whereas we still have Ancestral, Rain, and Mosh Pit up for the team of the Sofa Generals. Of course, Mosh Pit isn't available because currently he's a little bit preoccupied being a big angry Dragon Knight. They're going to take down this keep. They don't care for the towers in front. Just going straight for the keep here. They've got 10 seconds left. The Hinterland Blast is going to do some damage to Valor, who's also got aggro of the towers. Ancestral Healing has to come in early in this team fight. Healing Ward is down. Rain hitting 2 players. Audi dropping low. He's going to fall. But as is Tychus. Takamori also taking low. There is no healing left. Takamori also out of mana. 2-man Mosh Pit coming in. That's going to be a dead Adonis. Goofy low as well in the backline. He gets demounted. BQ able to trade one back onto the Valor though. So it's a 2-for-2 for the moment. And this is going to be a full back from the Sofa Generals.
Maybe a little bit of an overextension here, and we've seen many a team, taking unexpected damage from the core early on in the game. I mean, it's still 12 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. The core is hitting relatively hard, and if you underestimate that amount of damage that he's dishing out, then you're probably going to end up losing a bunch of people, and that's exactly what happened to Sofa here. Let's actually take a look at these 16 talents. We see 2 Stone Skins and 2 Blood for Bloods. I like that choice, really.
Yeah, so do I. And of course, you've got the Lunar Flare deals 50% more damage and refunds mana. And when you've got a Tyrande that's been hitting these Lunar Flares, of course you're going to take that. Everyone loves some free mana and dealing some more damage.
Exactly. And, well, let's actually stick with Tyrande here, because she took a very interesting level 13 talent that we've seen since the Sylvanas patch. It's the increased healing. So the talent is called Overflowing Light. And we have seen the potency of this improved healing. If you take a look at the numbers.
Yep, I was about to say that. But let's hold that thought as we're going to see Shaku power sliding in onto Audi. There's a root. Hinterland Blast hitting 3 members, but it just won't be enough. The Draken Laser Drill coming down a little bit too late. That's going to be a little bit useless in there, but they are able to pick up the stitches and they're going to get this Merc Camp. But as you were saying, the healing stats coming out of Tyrande, only 5k less than Rhaegar and almost double Tacita. And almost double, well, about 1.5 times the healing coming out of Malfurion.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, and it's all because of this 13 talent.
Absolutely. Malfurion a little bit underperforming here in my opinion. He could have definitely have more healing, but of course as you know, guys, it's not all about the numbers here, but we're just mentioning this because Malfurion is definitely still one of the most, or of the strongest healer in the game, so he could have higher numbers, but, you know, let's not get too nitpicky here.
Yeah, so ground here, he's the one-man defense for their spot Shriners. He's gonna probably face off against BQ and Goofy in a minute, although the fact that he dodged out. Okay, no Farsight. I was going to say he lost some vision there, but is it going to be enough? They're channeling this Dragon Knight. They do get it, but is Ground going to die for it? He may. The Ancestral coming out after a good hook from Audi. He's now going to get snared up, and that is a very dead Rhaegar, but when you've got a Dragon Knight going towards this top lane, it probably isn't the worst thing, because they're going to force the ports back here, and they can't capitalize off this kill.
Exactly. Quite the contrary is the case, actually. Rhaegar really baited them into a position that is far, far away from the Dragon Knight, but, you know, at the same time, the Dragon Knight shouldn't take that much free damage, and especially he's going to pop out of the Dragon form pretty soon, so he has to be careful.
Yep, the Hinterland Blast did only hit 2 players, and Takamori got healed up by the Tyrande, so Kane is the only one feeling the after effects. Audi looking for a hook, but you really don't want to hook onto the ETC here, as ETC's actually power sliding in. 3-man mosh pit, Draken laser drill, 3-man rain of vengeance coming in. That is great teamwork in that confined space, and look at the damage going down on Tacita as well. Kane is going to be looking to grab this one, although that shield is pretty hefty. The top lane, the
I'm feeling really good and really bad at the same time, because you know, on the one hand, our prediction got totally true. They don't have a lot of stun on Proland's side, and you could see that devastating mosh pit here, 3 men caught in it. But on the other hand, of course, I'm feeling a little bit sad for them, because, you know, it's just not a very glorious death to die in a rock concert. So, yeah, let's see if they can finish it off. Team Sofa, that is. They
need to respect the core damage here. We can already see Art getting very low. Kane too. They only have 1 healer. The healing ward is out too, as BQ has now spawned. He's got Hinterland Blast in 5 seconds. Goofy and Audi here as well, alongside Adanis. They're going to have to fall back from this one. They can't go in. The hook just missing. Hinterland Blast hasn't really been used too effectively. It's always been used to kind of force them back and get them off of objectives rather than actually in a fight, as we're going to see them chase down Sharkyu. He's going to get gorged. The animation on his screen isn't too great right now. Going to chuck him into his enemy team. Stoneskin used the Metamorphosis onto 3 players. Art taking quite a bit of damage here. That eludes Grace, really not doing too much healing now as he's dropped below 50%. Goofy getting taken down. Bot Malfurion isn't the best here, unfortunately for them. Wrong time, wrong place. BQ now going to fall. Lounger though, he's doing some damage in Archon form. 2-man Lunar Flare coming out. Malfurion and Stitch is getting stunned up by that one, and now it's just Tasta left in this situation, this 5v1. Power slide, face melt.
They definitely got a little bit too overzealous here, maybe the team of Proland. I don't really see why they would go out of that base so far. I mean, they did a really good job defending, and they just gave the slight advantage that they had. They just gave it away, and now there should be no question about Team Sofa ending this game and taking it 1-0, and that of course means they will be advancing to the next round. Really nice game. We saw a little bit of a questionable build on Falset maybe, even though he did sick damage. I mean, he almost reached the 50k mark, so who knows? Maybe auto attack Falset is the next thing to go for.
Yeah, but even so, the comp was just so strong coming out from Sofa Generals.
Absolutely agree on that one.
This is something I really like. The Blizzard have added a post-game stat screen because we can actually do some form of analysis here.
So cool.
The hero damage. Actually, Valor had the second highest in the game. Falstad was the top contribution to hero damage in the game, even with a funky build. Imagine if he built quote-unquote standard, how much of a difference that could have made to his team.
It could have definitely made a difference here. Most of the time you get your burst damage from those skills, of course, from the boomerang and all the other good shenanigans that you can come up with. And I still don't think that Falstad is the new auto attack god, so maybe he might want to think about his build once again. But still, they fought valiantly. It was a really nice game to watch, and yeah, we are going to see who makes it into the next round and who they will be facing next.
So the Sofa Generals go through, and they face Team Acer, who have been waiting for them ever so patiently. So guys, we're going to take a break while we get a game sorted. It may be that one, it may not be. I'll keep you guessing. So enjoy the music, and we'll see you on the other side.
See you in a bit.